I wanted to give you a piece of powerful information on grieving, because I get quite a lot of people who don't, they come to me and say, I don't know how you manage with all that you've been through, with the loss that you've been through and things that have happened to you in your life. How are you still here? How do you function? Why are you not depressed? Why are you not dead? And I always say to them this: there's a very powerful piece of information when you're grieving that I come to realize in my head, just because you got all the time in the world sat down in a chair thinking, depressed. And when you come to these certain realizations, they set you free. And this bit of powerful information is that we all know that if, obviously, the person we've lost, we really loved, and that's why we feel the loss. We couldn't feel the loss unless we had some emotions towards them. So we feel the love and we feel the care, and they obviously loved us as well. There was bound to have been something there. It could be brothers, sisters, mother or father, and anything, that husband, wife, whatever you've lost. The good friends, they're all very, very close to you. And they got to a point where they made an impact on you, and they made you feel in some way special for some reason. That you miss them, you miss what they did, however they made you feel. And the most important thing to remember about that is that we all go through the normal grieving process. Everybody's story is different. No two people are the same, and no one knows that more than me. We've all got our own ways of dealing with it. Some people get over it quite quick, what seemed to be quick on the outside maybe. Some people take over a year. It's good not to let it last on too long, and this is why I want to share this information with you. And everybody got their own unique way. We're all different, we're all unique. But when you come to certain pieces of information, like I discovered, you just can't deny it. You can't deny the power that you've just found within. And one of those pieces of information is this: if they loved you, then they obviously loved your children or whatever, and all the people around you, all the people that were in your life, you were all sort of connected together. And they loved you, you loved them. And now you've lost them, and you've not got that connection anymore, and you feel quite sad, and that's normal. But what you come to realize is, if you get into a state of depression where you're sat down in a chair all day every day and you can't find the focus to move, or you're just going to work and you're coming home and you're sitting down and you're crying and doing whatever else you're going to do, what you're actually doing there is almost self-destructive. Well, it is self-destructive, but more importantly, what you're actually doing there is, if they loved you and you love them, you're actually saying to them, the fact that you were in my life has made my life worse. The fact that you ever had anything to do with me has made me a worse person, because today I'm affecting my children, my parents, my grandchildren, my brothers, my sisters, whatever it may be, my good friends. Everybody around me has now been affected by the fact that you were in my life. So that, if you look at it in that way, what you're actually doing is doing them an injustice. You're saying to them, the fact that you were here, the fact that you've done anything, all the good things you've done, and the way you made me feel, now that you're gone, has made me into this person who's gone around and destroyed my whole family. So that is a complete opposite to what they would want you to do. Because if they really loved you and you really loved them, they would be looking down, or whatever it may be, or connecting with you, or whatever, to say to you, go on and live your life. If me being in your life has made you into this terrible person, then I wish I'd never been there. I wish I'd never been part of your life. Now, isn't that terrible? Isn't that terrible if they said that to us? Yet this would be what they would say if they cared about us and they could tell us. They would say that. And that makes you realize that the only way, really, through this grieving, the only way to do them justice, and to show them that you cared and you actually learnt from what they showed you. You know, you've learnt from what they've done for you, is to turn around and use the things that they taught you. What was it you missed so much about them? What is it that they shown you that nobody else could? How did they affect you? And what you need to do is take all those special qualities and just pass them off to everybody around you. You know, live it as your daily life. Now then, it's completely different. Now you're not sitting down on a chair destroying everybody else around you and saying to the people who've died, you know, the fact that you were in my life has made my life terrible, and doing them an injustice. Now you're turning around and going, look at what you've done for me. Look at how you've made my life better. You've shown me the quality of love. You've shown me how to interact with children. You've shown me how to go about my daily life and how to think. You know, and you need to take these things, these special qualities that they taught you, take them and pass them off to everybody around you. And what you're doing then is you're saying to them, thank you. Thank you so much for what you've shown me. And you start feeling it. It's almost like you can feel them communicating back through becoming you. It's an energy within. You do the things that they did and you feel this funny feeling, almost like they've become part of you for that moment and experienced it with you. And that is very special. You know, this is very powerful pieces of information that once you discover that and you start thinking about the injustices that you're doing, the people who've died, you start to see that there's no ground to be gained in sitting and crying for too long and in the self-destructive mode that you've become into. So get out there, you know, do stuff. Think of the things that they did. Use it in your daily life. You know, make them feel special. Make them feel really how they would like to feel.